Hey, everybody. Thanks for getting on the Zoom call. We're going to talk about IPAs. If you're not sure what that is income producing activities, ways for you to work your business and keep the momentum going. Sometimes we wake up and we get on Facebook. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you're probably really guilty of this. Just you get on Facebook and then you look at the clock and your husband's walking through the door and you're still on Facebook and you haven't really worked your business. So let's talk about income producing activities that you can do if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you work a full-time job, if you have a goal in mind and you're trying to achieve it. Let's talk about ways to make these things happen. So what I did to prepare for this is I contacted 5 jewels. Some of them were diamond, emerald, sapphire, a little bit of everything. And I asked for their top 3 tips just because I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. You guys hear my tips all the time. So I wanted to hear from them what they're doing now that they're jewels. Because a lot of the time you hear this, oh, you're at the top of the company. You don't have to do this anymore. And that's not necessarily the case. A lot of the time people think, oh, they get really complacent at the top. No, now that I'm at the top, there's even more things that I need to achieve, right? There's even more things that I want to help you guys achieve, that goals that I've created for myself. And that's what we're going to talk about. Ignore that. I just looked in the camera and saw that behind me, so just ignore that. Okay. So let's start with Bridget. Bridget is a Sapphire ambassador soon. She's point stocking just like me. And this is something that she shared with me. Her top 3 tips that she does every day that are income producing is adding to her network. The best ways that she does this is joining mommy Facebook groups. She's a stay-at-home mom, so she finds Facebook groups that relate to her and the kids and the kids' activities and what they do. She goes through the friends she may know, not Plexus people. She goes and looks through church acquaintances, old high school friends, things like that. She gets on Instagram and she started working her business through her Instagram account. Fun fact, if your Instagram is private, people can't see it and it has to be set to public. So if you're not ready to do that, don't try to work your business through Instagram unless you want to use your personal contacts that already follow you. Another way that she does this is play dates. I think she has 2 or 3 kids and she does play dates. If you're at the park, if you're watching this, you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, and you're at the park with your kids and they're playing with another little kid, take that as an opportunity to go over to the parents and go, oh my God, your kid is so cute. Have you ever heard of Plexus? Hey, here's a sample. You look really tired. Would you like a pink drink? Use that as your shoe in to start a conversation and to be bold. She mentioned that she uses church, the gym, and when she runs errands to continue to add people to her network. I've mentioned this before. If you leave your house, going to work, running errands, you're stay-at-home mom, whatever you're doing, you leave your house, you should have at least 5 business cards, 5 brochures, something on you with your info in a packet of Slim so that you can meet 5 new people. Either get them your information in a pink drink or add them on Facebook. If y'all start getting into a conversation and you're hitting it off and you really like their personality, before you walk away, say, oh, can you add me on Facebook? I would love to follow up with you and talk about this, or I'd love to get our kids together, or I'd love to visit your church. So whatever it is, get them on Facebook. The second thing that she likes to do and focus on is cold messaging. She tries to cold message 2 to 4 people a day. I will be completely honest. I do not do cold calls or cold messaging, so to speak. I try to build relationships and work inside my warm market. And then I do add people on Facebook a lot, but I get really nervous still to this day messaging complete strangers. So I can't be honest and say that's something that I do. Lastly, an income producing activity that she does every single day for her business is she coaches her level 1s. She tries to do 5 a month. I love this. Listen to this. So she picks 5 level 1s. If you don't have any level 1s yet, you can coach yourself. Find yourself a good network marketing book. But for her, she has 5 level 1s that she picks, and they are coached weekly. So there's 4 weeks in a month usually. So she picks 5 people, and those 5 are coached for the week. And then she picks, and then the next week it's a different topic. And the next week it's a different topic. But I love that because some of us have a lot of level 1s with a lot of team members. We get overwhelmed. We're like, how do I teach all these people all the time? This is a great way to stay on target, to be productive, and pick 5 at a time that you can coach weekly. The next jewel that shared their tips with me, she's one of my favorite, Tara, she just went diamond. Her husband just went sapphire. They're double jewel family. Freaking crazy, you guys. She's a mommy of 2. She also has her master's in psychology. She's very brilliant. She's super, super smart. And I love her income producing activities. She shares this. I post at least once a day on Facebook. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be Plexus related. Some of you guys post way too much about Plexus. Let's be real. Just because you posted about Plexus does not necessarily mean that was an income producing activity. You've posted 6 things today about Plexus. Guess what you've done? You've closed off half of your market because they see you as an infomercial and they have unfollowed you. So keep the posts intentional and personal. If you see people that are struggling with energy, reach out to them and ask them if they want a sample. Stop posting the same testimony. Instead, make it more intentional and go after them and say, look, you keep posting about Monsters and Red Bull. I'm going to keep sharing with you about Plexus. So can I send you a sample? You're killing me, Smalls. Like, be bold. So she says she posts once a day. And if you follow Tara Castaneda on Facebook, you'll see she mixes it up. She posts about her girls. She talks about her awesome husband. She talks about health and health-related things. And then every now and then she has a really great Plexus post. So you got to mix it up. She also does cold messaging. She feels like her warm market is already on her team. So she has started to cold call and cold message, whether that's people that she met on vacations or in public, or she goes to her Facebook and reaches out to people. And then lastly, her income producing activity that she does every single day is following up. You guys, the fortune is in the follow-up. I don't know how many times we can say that. Following up, not just with your customers, but with your team. They need you to check on them. They need them to tell you, or they need you to tell them, you're amazing. I believe in you. Hey, you may have lost a customer this month, but guess what? You also lost 6 inches in your waistline. Congratulations, you're awesome. So you gotta cheer on your customers and your team members. And when you follow up, it doesn't necessarily mean you're saying, hey, make sure you drink your water. No, what were you talking about before Plexus? Have a conversation with these people. Build those relationships. Because who knows, that customer that may be on the verge of quitting, you may have followed up with them the very second that they needed some encouragement because they're struggling with water weight or bloat. So follow up, follow up, follow up. Let's move on. The next jewel was Erge Fry. She is fabulous. She's emerald. I absolutely love following her. She has the little boy Arda that has cancer, and she shares about his journey on Facebook a lot. They're a beautiful family. I love them. So she has a lot of tips that she shared with me, and she's very blunt and bold, and I love this. So I'm going to read them real quick before I kind of touch on the little key points. So this is what she shared. So I have a running list of prospects. Sound familiar? Your list of 100? And I use a Facebook list feature. So if you log into Facebook on a desktop, you can do it on your phone, but I think it's best on a desktop. You'll see on your side left bar all your friends and how they're kind of categorized from where you've lived, right? Or maybe maybe it'll say like your workplace, people that you work with. It kind of clumps them together. Well, there is a way for you to move your friends and categorize them into lists. So if you want to create a list of non-Plexus people, you can do that. So it takes a while to do. Let me be honest. It takes forever to do. But if you have a lazy Sunday afternoon, go through and move all those non-Plexus friends into a group so that you can personally click on that group every single day and make sure you are connecting outside of your Plexus bubble and you're talking to people that are not Plexus related. She does this every day. She goes through her non-Plexus list and she reaches out to these people. And then she said she also sends 3 to 5 random friend requests a day. So I'm talking, she's a Facebook stalker. She goes and clicks on people's statuses. She's like, oh, you're drinking energy drinks. Let's see what people are commenting. And people are like, oh yeah, I love my Red Bull. I drink 5 a day. Add. Oh yeah, I'm doing this. I used those wraps once. Add. She does that. And I'll be completely honest, I do it too. I'm nosy, and that's how I meet new friends all the time. That is an income producing activity. Why? Because you're still building your network. That doesn't mean you do that all day long. You just take 15 minutes, go stalk on Facebook or Instagram and do it like that. She says, I add them and I do contact them, but I don't always contact them about Plexus. I try to see what they're up to and contact them from there. For instance, a kid connection. She also has put this, she firmly believes in following up. Didn't Tara just mention that in her top tips? So when she works towards a goal, like for instance, adding 8 new ambassadors and adding 8 new customers, that's her goal for the month. She follows up every single day with 5 to 10 of those prospects from her list of 100 until she has achieved that goal. You guys, if you have goals that you have written down or a rank that you are trying to achieve and you're not achieving them, it's because you're probably not following up or you're staying in your bubble. So this is a really bold way to get out of your bubble and make it a point. If I have 8 new preferred customers that I'm trying to get, I should be contacting at least 8 people a day until they start ordering, right? So that is something that she shared. She says, any other time, especially when I don't write down my goals, I suck at following up. So it's true. When we don't write our goals down, we don't remind ourselves of what we're trying to achieve. We don't hold ourselves accountable. So I love her. I love her realness. She then proceeds to talk about her team page. I'm very active on my team page, and I make sure I post at least 2 to 3 times a day on there. Something encouraging, something from corporate, and some way to help them if there's a lot of issues going on. For instance, backup orders or shipping. I also like to use my own Facebook a lot. I share personal things, and then I blend in my Plexus posts. I love how she says that. She blends them in. You guys, we want our Plexus posts to stand out, and we want them to catch attention, but you got to do it in the right way. You don't want to do it in the sense of, I'm going to post a selfie of me and my pink drink every single day, because guess what? If I keep seeing that, I'm going to hide you. No one wants to see the same thing every day. Post the pink drink next to your dog. Go find a Lexus in your neighborhood and be like, this will be mine one day. And your neighbor might chase you with a broom, but hey, you are going to be different. You're going to set yourself apart from other Facebook posts. So that's something that we should do. I just love that she tries to blend all of it together so it doesn't look like, oh, her life is so awesome, Plexus spam. Oh, her life is this, her life is that. She tries to make it personal. Sometimes I post testimonies here and there, but I do not share about Plexus more than once a day. Remember that. These are tips coming from Jules. You only have to share about Plexus once a day. It doesn't have to be 6 times a day. And you also don't have to work your businesses like them. These are just tips. Lastly, she says, I like to front load my month. I love this last tip. Listen to this. I usually get 1,000 PV before the 15th. She's a jewel. She still goes for 1,000 PV. Ooh, mind blown. She already lines up who her 3 new potential ambassadors are going to be. She writes their names down and she follows up with them every single week until they have joined her team. She is a very intentional ambassador. I use the second half of the month to focus on training my team pages and planning for my next promotion. Love that. These are all ways you can stay income producing and on track for your goals. Another Jewel ambassador, I told them to list their 3 tips in order from number 1 to the end. This one starts with follow-ups. I start the beginning of every month following up. I go through my Facebook messages, I write down names, and I follow up from the date that I contacted them and 2 weeks out. So she does like a 2-week follow-up, it seems. She goes, secondly, I try to reach out to 5 to 10 new people a day. So this girl is an Emerald ambassador, and I love that because when we did our How to Add Level 1 Zoom call, we talked about diamonds and how they reach out to 5 to 10 people a day. Not necessarily about Plexus, but they reach out to them to build relationships. She mentions that here in her income producing activities. You guys, if you're not reaching out or trying to build 5 to 10 new relationships, and I'm not talking you go out and you're not trying to be best friends with everyone. No, I want you to check in genuinely. Again, what were you doing before Plexus? Okay, think about that. What were you doing before Plexus? I know you love Plexus. I love Plexus. That's why we're on this Zoom call together, because we all love it. But what were you doing before then? What were you posting about? Go scroll through your Facebook from last year. What were you posting about? What were you getting a lot of likes on? Go back to that for a little bit. If you look at your Facebook and all you see is Plexus, that's what everyone else sees. All they see is Plexus. They want to know how your kids are doing. They want to know what you ate for dinner. You got to mix it up. Lastly, she says she connects with her team. I love that she uses the word connect, because that doesn't mean you post in your team page for the day and that's it. Guys, posting in your team page is not an income producing activity. It's not. It's motivating. It's teamwork. It maybe you're offering a fun fact or a corporate information, but you're not bringing in money from posting on your team page. And I want you to encourage your teams. I want you to use your team pages for resources and training information, but you can't get up for the morning, make your pink drink, post your selfie, post in the team page, and then all your team members are messaging you and trying to follow up with you about things, and you're like, oh, I'll get to it later. No, following up and training them to be the best ambassador and to duplicate, that's income producing. Not waking up for the day and posting a cute little blingy quote you found on Google. That's not going to get you to Emerald. So remember that. Lastly, or no, I have two more, sorry. These tips come from a diamond. She's a super crunchy mom. Maybe you know who she is, Donnelly Robinson. She shares these income producing tips with me. She says, personally, I like to know my network and I market to that. So if you follow Donnelly, you know she's super crunchy, she's vegan, and she's a huge, huge breastfeeding advocate. Guess what? She knows her market. She doesn't try to hustle people. She knows that she has crunchy mamas and breastfeeding moms and crunchy families on her Facebook. So that's what she shares about. That's what she posts about. Don't try to be something you're not. If you're not funny, don't try to be funny. Oh, that's the worst. It's so awkward for you, for me, everyone else. Don't try to be funny. If you're not a brainiac and you don't know a word that you've posted, don't post it. Your friends and family are going to see right through you. Be yourself and be genuine, and know your market. I think that is something that is income producing, because you're wasting your time and you're wasting other people's time if you're posting and sharing on Facebook and you're not being yourself. She then says, I make sure I'm sharing the opportunity in a way that her network would value, like the ability for moms to stay at home with their babies. Secondly, she does group chats for her prospects to cover many, many questions in one way and to share with more people. So an income producing activity y'all can work on for the rest of the month and then moving into April is three-way chats. Get with your upline. Hello, Facebook Messenger has an amazing feature called Voice Messenger, and you can sit there and you can talk back and forth like a walkie-talkie. You don't have to type back and forth. You don't have to get on conferencecall.com and set up an awkward conference call with strangers. No. The beauty of a three-way messenger on that chat is you still get to hide behind your keyboard, behind Facebook, but they can hear your voice. They can hear your excitement. So do three-way chats. And that's something that you can duplicate. It's easy to duplicate. It's not hard. Lastly, she says, building relationships is the biggest income producing activity. When you have something to offer outside of Plexus, people want that. What is better than a good old-fashioned friendship, right? So that is income producing. She says, for me, that would be her as a lactation consultant. That's what she does outside of Plexus. She goes, I build on those relationships. I add them to her. She runs the Plexus breastfeeding support group page. So she adds them to there and she starts to engage with them from there. So find your niche, find your groove, find what you are. If you are a homeschooling parent, get involved in homeschooling groups, meet other homeschooling parents. There's so many diamond documentaries you can share with homeschooling parents because they all homeschool their kids. If you are a workout guru, get involved in fitness groups, get involved at your gyms. A lot of gyms have like one day a month where they let you come in and share about your product or your network marketing company. All you have to do is ask. It might cost you $50, but hey, you might gain 4 ambassadors from that or new customers. So get yourself involved. Those are income producing activities. And if they make you uncomfortable, they're probably going to have the biggest impact on your business. Lastly, I reached out to a brand new Emerald. She's also expecting mommy to be. Her name's Roxanne. And this is these are her top 4 income producing activities that she likes to do every single day to grow her business, to grow her PV, to grow her team. Number 1, I friend request 3 new people a day. that are non-Plexus related. So she's going through people you may know, going through her old high school yearbooks. Who was her best friend in high school? Oh, let's go see how she's doing. People from church, the mailman. Sometimes mailman, they need energy. You know how many houses they gotta go to? You can add your mailman on Facebook. It's not weird, I promise. Number 2, she says, following up with 3 people I reached out to that last week. So I like that because it's not talking about following up with people that you messaged a year ago when you first got started with Plexus. No, she's talking about people that she said, hey, your kids are so cute. They had a little conversation and it kind of died off with emojis, right? We all end our conversations with smiley faces. She's talking about revisiting those same conversations and going, oh my gosh, I just saw your post. I hope your dog's okay. Or, hey girl, I was thinking about you and I think I'm going to send you a Plexus sample. I think you would really like it. Or, hey man, I see that you're working out in the gym. I'm so proud of you. You're so inspiring. Start engaging more and you'll notice that it's easy to duplicate. Your team's going to watch you following up, so they're going to follow up. And then you get into a habit. Thirdly, she says, I watch training videos to build my belief. Building belief is a huge income producing activity because you're not going to move forward if you don't stay motivated. Lastly, she says, I try to join some sort of Facebook group to meet new people once a week. Do y'all hear these things? These are the same tips, all different rates, same income producing activities. They're all doing these things to move forward in their businesses. Maybe you're already doing them and you think, Emily, why did I get on this call? I'm doing those things. Okay, great. So now it's my turn. I'm going to share with you guys my income producing activities, especially now with a brand new baby in the house who is the king of the castle. Let's be real. Especially as a nursing mom, he's my alarm clock. If he's hungry, I stop what I'm doing. The house becomes a wreck because Sterling has freelance and can do whatever he wants, and I can't move. So guess what? When I'm nursing, I'm working my business because I'm sitting on the couch with my boppy. I can't move for a good 40 minutes unless I have my wrap, and I nurse him. So this is what I do. Everyone asks me this all the time. Emily, how do you work your business? Right now, it's different. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. I know, crazy. Thank the Lord for paint drink, right? I wake up at 4:30 a.m. I check my email. I check my messages, and I only respond to potential customers and level 1 ambassadors. During the day is when I will get to other levels on my team, like if they have a back office issue, questions about product, whatever. But from there, I make my son breakfast. My other son, Sterling. I try to pick up my house to get the day going. I put my phone down. I stay away from my phone. I turn on Paw Patrol. Yes, I'm literally giving y'all play-by-play because I want you to know what it's like to be a mom and a Plexus ambassador. This is what I do. From there, what I try to do, especially when Sterling's watching TV and he's or playing with his trains or toys, I try to read at least 1 chapter in my network marketing book. I'm currently rereading The 4-Year Career by Richard Bliss Brooke. And I try to get at least 1 chapter in a day. It's really hard with 2 kids, but in the middle of the night, if I got to keep myself awake while I'm nursing, I've been doing that also. From there, for the rest of the day, I run my errands. I try to do samples. I do give samples out to this day. I try not to do more than 10 for the month. I'll be honest, I'm really picky about who I send samples to. If I feel like they're wishy-washy or if it's a complete stranger that I don't really know anything about or if they're going to move forward with the sample, I send them to my website. I'm like, look, we have a 60-day money-back guarantee, 3 days, 7 days. That's what you can do. I do no more than 10 a month because I'm not trying to waste money on that. And then around lunchtime, I feed my son, and when he's eating, that's when I do my follow-ups. Because guess what? Follow-ups take 15 minutes. They don't have to take forever. Unless that person is online and they want to talk, that's fine. I can talk to them casually throughout the day and build that relationship. From there, most of the time it's afternoon for me and early morning for you guys, especially my California peeps. That's when y'all start getting messages from me, right? Or if you're in my leaders group message, that's when I'm really active because I try to talk to you guys. I try to follow up with how you're doing, how the team's doing. That's usually when I'm posting in the team pages. It's right after lunchtime. Unless I'm up really early, then you'll see it in the morning. From there, the rest of the day is really based around Sterling. I try to play with him, give him my attention. And then my husband comes home, phone usually goes away. And that's usually my business hours, kind of like a 9-to-5 job, sort of, kind of. As for reaching out to new people, when I leave my house, I try to make it a point to leave 5 business cards or 5 samples or get them into someone's hand. Every time I go to the gym, I try to meet a new friend and add them on Facebook. And then lastly, I send out my messages, whether it's my follow-up messages, and that's usually right before bed when I'm nursing Sterling around 10 p.m. my time. So usually when I hang up from this Zoom call, that's when I start doing that. Scott put Sterling to bed. I have Gentry. I'm nursing. I have my phone. I don't really pay attention to you guys anymore, and I just focus on building. I try to go silver every month. And that's what I do. I follow up. I'm like, hey, it's been a month. You told me you wanted to join. Why did your mind change? What's keeping you from doing this? Most of the time, it's money. I totally understand. I had to save up to join. I share my testimony with these people, and I just work on the relationship. That is what my day looks like. I wake up every day super excited to work my business, super excited to tell someone how awesome Plexus is, how it's changed my life, how it's changed one of y'all's life, or your health. I share testimonies. If you've noticed, I haven't been sharing You're okay. I haven't been sharing testimonies as much on my Facebook, maybe once. Oh, here's Gentry. I maybe share them once or twice a month. But here's the thing. What I've been doing behind the scenes is my people that I'm building relationships with, I'm sending those testimonies directly to them. Hey, I read this online the other day, and you immediately came to mind. I want you to read this, and I want you to be honest and tell me what you think. Or my favorite, will you watch this documentary? It's not even 8 minutes long, but this girl totally reminded me of you. And I send them a diamond dog, especially if they're on my dream team. That's what I do every day. I'm not saying you have to work your business like me. If you work full time, fit your IPAs into the nooks and crannies of your life. It doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to be time consuming. You guys can do it. And I love hearing about it. So try to find 3 new IPAs that you can focus on for the rest of this month. Get them plugged in for April. Team leaders, help your team figure out what IPAs they can be focusing on. This kid is starving. Can you see this? So focus on that, and I'd love to hear your ideas, or even in the team page. Let's start a thread on R&T Rockstars and post what our income-producing activities are that we're working on. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being incredible. I'm insanely blessed to know each and every one of you.